The look around the Big 12.
Let's freaking do it. Look around the Big 12, like Kenny said. It's big games this weekend. Big games this weekend. Kicking things off here. Houston at Arizona. Late night kick. 9:15 p.m. Central Time. Arizona favored by 45.5 over under. Man, I got to take the under on that because I don't think Arizona's offense is good. Houston's offense is not good at all either. I'm going to jump the gun here and I'm going to go. I think Houston's better. I do. I mean, they beat K-State. They've beaten Utah. They've beaten TCU. They're like you said, they're ahead of schedule with Willie Fritz. So I'm going to pick Houston to win 23-17, outright win as the underdog and under on the over/under. Kenny, what do you got?
Houston wins 24-7.
Ooh.
Arizona's offense is horrendous, dude. And if
it is,
there's no way against Houston's defense, which right now just like it is showing up and showing out. Houston is going to get its 4th win of the conference. Did anybody think that was going to happen? Did anybody have that on their bingo card? No, nobody had that on their bingo card. Houston is way ahead of schedule. Willie Fritz is the man. And yeah, Houston, you guys are going to be 4-3 at the end of this week. And Arizona, wow, what a bad coaching pick. Moving on, Steve, moving on.
Okay, we had this in our main podcast here. We just picked this. K-State at home, favored by 9, over under 50.5 versus Arizona State, 6 o'clock, Bill Snyder Family Stadium. I have K-State winning 34-31 if Cam Scatterbo plays. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. Great player. If he does not play because he is questionable, I got K-State winning 34-24, covering. So, Kenny, what was your score again?
My score was 38-21.
Okay. So you think K-State is going to win big?
They have to.
And both of us have K-State hitting the over as well. Yeah, K-State, pair of 7-2 teams, man. I mean, this is what you want in November, man. Teams really starting to play each other and separate themselves. This is a big game. Every game is big. K-State's got to win this and win the next 2 and get some help to go to Arlington. Hopefully it happens. Oh, what was your hot takes again? I have DJ Giddens 200 plus yards overall, 3 touchdowns, and a defense getting 2 turnovers forced, 1 interception, and 1 fumble. What was yours again?
Oh, I had Avery Johnson running in 3 touchdowns, and I've got 4 sacks from Austin Romaine. I'll say 4 sacks. I'll split it up because that's pretty tough. 4 sacks to the linebacking core. So,
okay,
I'll split it up.
Cool. Sorry, I'm paying my my daughter's gymnastics coach. We've not paid one of the fees, I guess. Moving on here, we have Colorado versus Utah. This is a big noon kickoff for Fox. Colorado favored by 10, over under 47.5. I think you said Colorado is going to win this game big earlier this week, right?
Yes. After the disappointing loss and the flag heard around the world, Utah is not going to come into Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. They're not coming in with any juice at all. They're going to be completely distraught for this game, and it wouldn't surprise me if Utah is like distraught for the rest of the season. Their entire program is in shambles right now. Their athletic director might be getting fired. I mean, they might be
getting kicked out of the Big 12, man.
They might even be getting kicked out of the Big 12. You know, it's that is a train wreck, and quite the opposite is what's going on with Colorado. They are acting as if they're the best team, and they're playing like the best team in the Big 12. I mean, there's not a lot of people disputing that right now. A lot of people out there have Colorado in terms of power rankings I know that they've got 2 losses and BYU's undefeated, but in terms of what they look like, the eye test and how they're winning their games against their opponents, they're winning their against their opponents. They're 17 points of a difference in between their opponents, whereas BYU is less than 9 or something like that. So I have Colorado coming up big against Utah. It's probably going to be somewhere around like 51 to like 14.
No way. Utah's got a good defense, dude.
They're not going to be up for it.
They held BYU to 1 offensive touchdown, dude. I mean, they lost 10-7 earlier this year. They lost 17-14 versus Houston. They got a good got a good defense, bro.
Context is everything, Steve. They were up for that game. It was in their home court or home field, home field. The fan base was firing away. They hadn't had a flag heard around the world like that. None of that happened yet. As soon as all that happened, Utah's defense fell to the ground, and they could have stopped BYU. They could have stopped them. They didn't. And all the stuff that's going on with their athletic, I mean, I guarantee you the entire team right now is going to sit there and act as if they deserve to win. They're going to be thinking about that loss for weeks to come. Look what happened with Baylor when they lost in overtime against Colorado. They were thinking about that win for weeks to go, and now Baylor is back on track and playing well again. Utah is not going to recover in time for this game. They just won't, dude. They're going to Colorado. They're going to be down on themselves. They're not going to show up. They're going to be like, we're out of the, like, we can't play for a bowl game. We're out of the conference championship. The only thing that they had to play for was the BYU game. They lost that. Their eyes are completely off of the season. They don't want to play anymore. They don't want to play anymore the rest of the season.
So this is not a trap game for Colorado?
No, not at all. Not at all. Colorado is going to run all over them. The game that they need to be worried about is KU.
Okay. I don't agree with them scoring 51 points. Obviously, I got Colorado winning this game. I got Colorado winning. I do think Utah's defense is good, but their offense is garbage. I don't even know who's going to play quarterback for them. No idea. No idea what to expect out of their offense. I don't think Colorado's defense is like anything amazing. I really don't.
Their D-line is.
I think Colorado is going to win 31-17. Hitting the over by a half a point and covering as well. So, I mean, if you're a Colorado fan, you got to be liking what I'm saying here. You're hitting over, you're covering as well. Colorado is in the driver's seat along with BYU to go to Arlington. Like you said, the game they should be looking at is the KU game, because when looking at their schedule, I mean, they have Utah at home, at KU, and at Oklahoma State at home. I mean, they have, like you said in the last podcast, they have by far the best chance of anyone to win their last 3 games. The schedule makers were pretty nice to them when looking at, who they play. They barely play anyone in the top half of the league. They got pretty lucky there, but they're still a pretty good football team, and they've gotten a lot better. Hopefully their players decide not to pick any fights with any ball boys this year or this game. If you know,
Stir killer. Sanders gets hurt. Utah wins 10-9.
I assume he's talking about Shadur and not Shiloh, because I think if Shiloh didn't play, I think it'd be better for their defense, honestly. But I got Colorado winning 31-17, covering the spread, heading to over as well. I think they're a good team. I will be picking KU to beat Colorado next week.
Listen, Steve, if this was earlier in the season or it wasn't the game immediately right after the BYU loss and the way they lost, I might take your score a little bit more than mine. But because of where their season is at and what just happened last week, they're not coming into this game level-headed. They're not coming into this game with confidence. I guarantee you. And the confidence is quite literally tipped on the other scale for Colorado. They're playing with all the confidence in the world right now. And they're clicking offensively, defensively. They're turning it around. Dude, I respectfully disagree with 31 points. I think it's way too low. I mean, you could meet in the middle maybe, but we'll say maybe like 45, I guess. 50, 31, 45,
No
right?
way, dude.
40?
No way. I think Utah's defense is better than K-State's. And I mean, they scored 28 against K-State. So
I hear what you're saying, Steve, but the defense is a part of the team that just lost they're too you're taking the human element out of this score prediction. I'm adding what literally just happened last week. It is going to be on their minds, dude.
I agree. I just think their defense is good. That's all I'm going to say. If you guys like what we're doing right here, make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends. We are really close to 1,000 subs. We are trying to get there to be fully monetized. We're getting all the views and watch time. I mean, we have double the watch time needed. We were just lacking some subs. So please subscribe if you're a Big 12 fan, K-State fan, whatever team. Just go ahead and
I just thought of something, Steve. Utah fans are acting like Democrats after the election.
Oh man,
the meltdown.
Kenny is going political. Political Kenny.
The meltdown. Hey, I don't side for either or. I don't really care. But I'm just saying, like, it's just funny to watch.
Yeah,
the comparison of the meltdown.
There was some meltdowns happening for sure. Moving on. Baylor at West Virginia. Baylor favored by 2.5 in Morgantown. Are you kidding me? Over under 58.5. I think Baylor's good. I think West Virginia is good as well. This is a close game. If I was picking a spread, I would have had West Virginia -3 because they're the home team. I don't know, Kenny. What do you got here?
I think I'm going to take Baylor to win. I think Baylor's playing better now. I think West Virginia has done enough to keep Neil Brown around for another year. I know a lot of their fans probably don't think that's a good thing. But I don't know. I just think Baylor is just a better team right now. What time is this? 3:00? I do think Baylor's going to give a really good game. I don't think West Virginia. I'm going to be honest with the listeners. Okay. I don't watch that much Baylor. Okay. I don't watch Baylor that often.
I've seen him play a couple times.
I've caught a couple.
I've seen West Virginia more.
Maybe a quarter here and there. I've seen West Virginia a little bit more, mainly because we played against them. If I'm going to be honest with you, from the stuff I've seen from Baylor, I think they're going to be better. I don't know how they are on the ground. Are they more of a passing team, Steve, or are they more of a running team? I'm not really sure.
Baylor's definitely more of a passing team.
Then I have Baylor winning for sure because West Virginia's passing defense is not the greatest. Now I said that against Cincinnati, but Cincinnati, they made some mistakes at the end. Apparently there was a interception that happened late or whatever. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but Cincinnati made some boneheaded mistakes that cost them the game. But Baylor, I believe, they're doing. This is the game. This is another game. So Baylor played TCU. Was it last week or the week before? And that was the Save Your Coach bowl game. And this is Save Your Coach bowl game part 2.
It is.
With
it is
Baylor versus West Virginia.
Baylor's gotten better this year. They really have.
Since the Colorado game, they let that loss linger on, but they have gotten better. That is without a doubt. I mean, they scored like 59 points against Texas Tech. Insane. And then they also beat TCU as well. I've got Baylor winning. We're going to go 35, West Virginia 33.
I like that score. I do. You did not have them covering a 2.5. I think Baylor's better. I think they've gotten better every week. Like you said, West Virginia's pass defense is god-awful. It is a home game for them, 3:00. I got Baylor winning. I mean, I don't know who the quarterback is going to be for West Virginia. I don't. They had to rely on their defense getting some turnovers last week that, I mean, kind of fluky. Honestly, against Cincinnati, they probably should have lost that game, but they won. So shout out to them. I got Baylor winning 34-27. 21. Double digits.
All right.
So moving on. This is a make it or break it game for Iowa State. This is a must win. This is a must win game for Iowa State. Favored by 9 at home against Cincinnati, a team they should beat. But Iowa State is not playing good right now. They're not playing good at all. They've lost 2 consecutive games. They should have lost 3 in a row. They just got smoked by KU. That was 2-6 going into that game. Kenny, I don't know what to make of this game, man. I don't. What do you got here?
I think Iowa State wins. Hold on one second. Go ahead. I'm going to type this in.
All right. I'm going to go Iowa State wins. I think they're going to try to get their swagger back in this game. I got them winning 31-21. Covering the spread, but not hitting the over-under.
Here's some stats for you, Steve. Iowa State is ranked 15th in the conference when against the rush offense.
Okay.
They have allowed, I think it's on average 150 yards or something like that per game on the ground, or 170, I think. A lot of rushing yards are allowed against Iowa State. Cincinnati, not really a running team. So
they're decent.
They're decent, but that's not where they make their living.
No.
Iowa State, very good on the pass defense. So this is where I have Iowa State beating Cincinnati, and they're in Ames. They're going to want to stop the bleeding here. They're going to need to stop the bleeding here. Like you said, this is a make or break game for them.
Must win. It's a must win.
It's a must win to stay in the race. The Cincinnati running back is nice. He is nice.
He is nice.
But it's the people around him that aren't allowing him to really do anything. Their offensive line,
they're throwing it too much. They are. They need to utilize the quarterback run game more, do some more option game, be more creative. RPOs, yeah.
They're not creative at all.
No.
And people, I think, have really dialed them in. I think that whatever they had working for them early on was working early on, but now there's too much film out there now. And just like K-State, they're sort of, they're an enemy to themselves because they had the same system that was working for them. And they said, all right, we're just going to keep doing this until you figure out how to stop us. And people have figured it out how to stop us. I mean, I didn't think that West Virginia was going to beat a team like Cincinnati, and they did. So, and they did it on the road. And now Cincinnati, after that loss, has to go to Iowa State. That's a tough environment to play in. Steve and I will tell all you newcomers in the Big 12, Ames, Iowa is no joke. The saying goes, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to mess with. Well, Ames, Iowa ain't nothing to mess with. All right. Well, we'll just say that that's a tough place to play. And so I've got Cincinnati. I've got Iowa State winning. They're going to it's going to be like 28-21. We'll go 28-21.
Iowa State winning?
Iowa State, 28-21.
Okay. I dig it. Last game in the Big 12 this weekend. I think you and I are actually on the same wavelength here. Maybe. KU needs to win this game to continue trying to be bowl eligible. BYU needs to win this game to, honestly, I think if they win this, they have to win 2 more to secure being in the Big 12 title game. But I feel like if they win this game, they're going to feel like, okay, no matter what, I mean, we just got to go 1-1 the rest of the way, and they're playing Houston at home. So this is a huge game. KU's playing so much better than they were earlier this season. They're finally playing like the team that everyone predicted them to be. Are you picking an upset here?
I think that KU has more to play for than BYU does at this point. KU is in a must-win situation every single week from here on out. And they put themselves in that position, make no excuses for KU. They put themselves in this spot where they have to win a must-win every single week. They're going to be up for this. It seems like they're finally clicking. Their offense is extremely, extremely dangerous because of how athletic Daniels is. He has finally knocked the rust off of his joints and his whatever it was that was wherever it was located on his body. It's off of him now. He is operating like a well-oiled machine. Okay, and that's exactly what he is. He's a well-oiled machine. But the thing is, BYU's defense is also elite. Keep in mind, Steve.
I agree.
What I said about Utah also applies to BYU. They also played a very emotional game last week. They've
not played well lately, man. They have not played well lately.
Let me tell you something, Steve. And yes, correct. They have not played. They've struggled against the worst teams in the power rankings right now. Not to compare teams because every team's different. Every week is different. Every team stacks against different teams differently. K-State beat KU on a very late game field goal to win the game. The week after that, they went down to Houston and lost against a team that everybody thought that they should beat. BYU wins a game on a game-winning field goal against their in-state rivals. Same situation, and they're going into this week thinking we're going to go against a team that's a bottom-of-the-barrel team that everybody thinks we should beat.
You're picking the upset.
It's not that much of an upset.
It's really not. I agree. I mean, it's only 3 points.
And so that's really what you get. And 3 points is what they give to the home team because it's the home team.
What do you got?
I got KU winning this game.
What's the score?
KU's going to win and finally deliver BYU's first loss. I say this, and I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot, man.
Probably.
They're gonna deliver BYU's first loss. It's gonna be 35 to 28. 35 to 28.
I dig it. I don't see it happening this week. I think KU is going to lose, but then beat Colorado the next week. I'm already picking it out. I'm not picking BYU to lose this game. I'm going to pick BYU to win this game. And next week, I will say, calling it right now, BYU is losing at Arizona State. I'm just calling it right now. So here's my score for BYU KU. I got BYU winning 38-31. 38-31. I do. I think they're a good team. I think they're a better team. I know they just came off an emotional game. We did not make one for the last game. We felt like BYU did not deserve it, so we did not make one, specifically Kenny, because he called the upset. So back-to-back weeks, I am picking BYU, but I've already said I'm picking against them next week. Now, maybe this weekend's games will change my mind. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm picking BYU to beat KU.
Man,
38-31.
BYU having to play back-to-back late night games.
They've been doing it all season. All season.
Yeah.
And you know what? You said it earlier, man. There's something about LES at nights. There's something about BYU at night at home, dude. They just know how to win night home games. If they're going to lose, it's not going to be at home. So,
well, according to I forgot his name already.
Brett Hammer.
Yeah, Brett Hammer said that the games that they do lose at night are usually at home. He said in the streak of night games, like 9 o'clock, whatever games, he said they have a better record on the road at night than they do at home. So that's why he was nervous. But obviously they still have a good record. It's not like it's a bad record. No. He just says that like there's more losses. It's like we've won 35 games and lost 5 at home, but we've won 35 games away and lost 2. It's like It's not like it's that much of a difference. You know, it's like, oh, they've lost like 3 more times at home or something. But I just think KU, They have a lot more to play for. BYU, they just, again, I feel like you have to add the emotional context to every game. Because we're human beings. We're not a game inside of like an Xbox, like these players have emotions, and that and emotional exhaustion is a thing. And it's gonna, like, they just spent all week preparing for the Holy War, and they managed to give everything they had after being down and almost out of the game. It took the game-winning field goal, then all the drama afterwards, and all, like, I'm sure that game is still on their minds, still on the players' minds, and they have to prepare for another team in like 5 days. 5 days from now, there's going to be another team coming in, and they're still thinking about that Utah game. I guarantee you they are.
Maybe.
I bet they're laying their head down on their little pillow at night, and they're just thinking about, man, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe now Utah's
I can't wait for Breaking Dawn Part 2 video to come out.
Okay, if they win and they win big against KU, I'm going to say it now to everybody watching. If BYU comes out, I didn't make an apology for the Holy War because I picked Utah to win and they almost did. It took literally the most controversial call of the year that is like the flag heard around the world. It took that in order for them to win, get an opportunity. Let's be fair, the opportunity to go down and keep themselves alive in that drive to eventually get the field goal kick. But I will say that if they go out and they crush KU, I'll take my big slice of humble pie and I'll eat it with dignity, and I will make that apology, and the Breaking Dawn Part 2 video will come out that following Sunday. But yeah, those are the Big 12 score predictions. Steve,
for week 12.
Week 12.
Yeah, I'm eating purple. I'm eating purple.